The use of flash photography and the recording of this show by any means, audio or video, is strictly prohibited by the management.
Also, please refrain from eating, drinking, or anything during the production.
For your convenience, toilets are located in the lobby.
Also, please take a moment now to locate the exit nearest your seat. Should the theater experience a sudden loss of pressure, oxygen masks will drop automatically.
Simply place the mask over your nose and mouth and continue to breathe normally.
If you're at the theater with a small child, please place your own mask on first. And let the little bugger fend for himself.
Tonight we are going to attempt a feat, which we believe is unprecedented in the history of theater.
That is to capture
In a single theatrical experience,
the magic,
the genius, the towering grandeur of
The complete works of William Shakespeare.
Now, we have a lot to get through tonight, so at this time, I would like to introduce a member of the company who is one of California's preeminent Shakespearean scholars.
She has a bachelor's degree from the University of California at Berkeley.
where I believe she has read 2 books about William Shakespeare.
she's here tonight to provide a brief preface to
The complete works of William Shakespeare. Abridged.
Would you please welcome Miss Laura Lieber?
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. William Shakespeare, playwright, poet, actor, philosopher, a man whose creative and literary genius has had an immeasurable, profound influence upon the consciousness and culture of the entire English-speaking world. And yet, how much do we inhabitants of the 21st century really know and appreciate the tremendous body of work contained in this single volume? Too little, I would argue. Now, you are a theater-going crowd, no doubt of above-average cultural and literary awareness. And yet, if I may have a brief show of hands, how many of you here tonight have ever seen or read any play by William Shakespeare? Any contact at all with the bard, please raise your hands. I think they might know more than we do. Maybe we better get out of here. Don't worry about it. No, we should really start running now.
They don't know Shakespeare from Shinola.
What should I do? Narrow it down. What? Narrow it down. Let's see if we can narrow it down a bit, shall we? How many of you here tonight have ever seen or read, let's say, All's Well That Ends Well? Yes, that seems to be separating the wheat from the chaff rather nicely. Now let's see who the true Shakespeare trivia champs are tonight. Has anyone ever seen or read King John? You have? Really? Would you mind telling us what it's about? It's about a hunchback. This is exactly what I'm talking about. All right, you laugh, ladies and gentlemen. You scoff. But he among you who is free from sin live in a glass house. For that face, ladies and gentlemen, that face represents all your faces. That empty brain represents your empty brain. Those glazed eyes are your glazed eyes. These teeth are your teeth. And make cry out, floss me! Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that our society's collective capacity to comprehend, much less attain, the genius of a William Shakespeare has been systematically compromised by computers, vandalized by video games, saturated by soap operas, and dealt its death blow by reality shows. But have no fear, we descend among you on a mission to spread the literary muse of the bard to the masses, to help you take those first halting steps out of the 21st century quagmire of Jerry Springer and Oprah and SpongeBob and into the future, a glorious future, a future where this book be found in every hotel room in the world. This is my dream, ladies and gentlemen, and it begins here tonight. Join us in taking those first steps down the path toward the intellectual world by opening your hearts.
Yes, please, open your hearts and your pocketbooks. Or simply charge your donations to 1-800-THE-BARB right now. Give us your cash if we be friends, and deduct it when the tax year ends.
On with the show and may the bar be with you.
Thank you.
Those of you who own a copy of this book know that no collection is complete without a brief biography of the life of William Shakespeare.
Providing this half of the show will be Jacob Lundquist. Oops, I'm sorry. Here, let me help you.
No, don't touch them. They go in an order. Hi. As you can see, I am not an audience member. I completely fooled you. I've just been taking a few notes on Shakespeare's life, so we could get this show off to a good start. So you could know all the stuff he did and everything.
Just get on with it.
Jeez. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in the town of Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. The third of 8 children, he was the eldest son of John Shakespeare, a locally prominent merchant, and Mary Arden, daughter of a Roman Catholic member of the landed gentry. In 1582, he married Anne Hathaway, a farmer's daughter. He's supposed to have left Stratford after he was caught poaching in the deer park of a local justice of the peace. Shakespeare arrived in London in 1588. By 1592, he had achieved success as an actor and a playwright. After 1608, his dramatic production lessened, and it seemed that he spent more time in Stratford. There, he dictated to his secretary, Rudolf Hess, the work Mein Kampf, in which he set forth his program for the restoration of Germany to a dominant position in Europe. After reoccupying the Rhineland zone between France and Germany and annexing Austria, the Sudetenland, and the remainder of Czechoslovakia, Shakespeare